It's 3 o'clock a.m. The house is silent. You open your eyes, wide awake. Again. Maybe you glance at the clock, hoping it's closer to morning. Maybe you lie there staring into the dark, wondering what your body is trying to tell you this time. Sound familiar? If you're over 60 or well into your 70s or 80s, waking up around 3 a.m. isn't unusual. In fact, it's one of the most common sleep patterns reported by older adults. But here's the thing, it's not just aging. It's not just bad sleep. And no, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. You see, this early wake-up has more to say than you think. It can reflect changes in your body, your mind, your lifestyle, even your emotions. It's not always a problem. Sometimes it's a message, and once you understand what that message is, you might stop fighting your sleep and start flowing with it. In this video, we're going to explore 5 powerful reasons you may find yourself awake at 3 a.m. and what those reasons reveal about your health, your habits, and the quiet wisdom of aging. Because this isn't about fixing you, it's about understanding you at this stage in life. So if you've ever whispered to yourself in the dark, "Why now?" Stay with me. The answer might bring you more peace than you ever expected. Side1.com cite decline in melatonin, one of the most common and least talked about reasons older adults wake up at 3 a.m. is something you can't see or feel directly. But it's quietly working behind the scenes every night of your life. It's called melatonin, the hormone your brain naturally produces to help you fall asleep, and more importantly, to help you stay asleep. When you were younger, your body made plenty of it. As the sun set and the world got darker, your brain released melatonin like a calming river, helping you drift off and stay deep in rest until morning. But with age, that river becomes a trickle. By your 60s or 70s, your body's production of melatonin naturally declines. This isn't a disease. It's not a malfunction. It's part of the aging process. As natural as gray hair or slower mornings. So what does that mean? It means you may still fall asleep easily, but around 3 o'clock a.m., your brain might not have enough melatonin left to keep you asleep. So you wake up, not from a sound, not from a dream, you simply come to, and in that moment, quiet and uncertain, you might wonder, did I drink too much water? Is something bothering me? Why does this keep happening? But the truth is, it may be nothing more than your brain gently shifting gears without the chemical support it once had. And here's another layer. Light sensitivity increases with age. The soft glow from a hallway, a blinking alarm clock, even a street lamp outside the window. These small light sources can quietly suppress melatonin even more. Your body, once resilient to little flickers of light, now reads them as signals that it's time to wake. Take Harold, for example. He's 72, used to sleep straight through the night. Now he finds himself wide awake at 3:15 a.m. No stress, no pain, just alert? He blamed it on age, then the dog, then himself. But once Harold learned about melatonin and the role it plays, things changed. He stopped blaming and started adjusting. He swapped his lamp for a softer bulb, took brief evening walks to reinforce his natural rhythm, avoided screens after 8 p.m., and added blackout curtains to block outdoor light. He still wakes earlier than he used to, but now he understands why, and that understanding, it brought peace. That's the thing about awareness. It won't solve everything, but it gives you a starting point. When you know what's happening, you stop fighting your body and start supporting it. You begin to realize this isn't just you. It's biology, it's rhythm, It's life unfolding differently now. If 3 a.m. visits you more than you'd like, try seeing it not as an enemy, but as a gentle nudge. Maybe your body just needs a little help staying in rest, a little less light, a little more consistency, a little more kindness in how you end your day. Because waking up early doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It just means your body is different now and deserves to be treated with care. The goal of sleep isn't perfection, it's peace. And the more compassion you bring to your night, the more forgiving your sleep can become. Sign 2. Your body's clock is ticking earlier now, advanced sleep phase. There's a rhythm inside you. A quiet timing your body has followed your whole life, even if you didn't realize it. It's called your circadian rhythm. Your internal clock that tells you when to sleep, when to rise, when to eat, and when to rest. For most of your adult life, that clock moved in step with your routines. Early mornings, full days, restful evenings. But as we age, that clock doesn't stop. It just starts ticking a little earlier. This shift is known as advanced sleep phase syndrome, and it's incredibly common in older adults. You may notice you're getting sleepy 7:30 or 8 p.m., even if the day still feels unfinished. Or maybe you wake at 3:30 or 4 a.m., wide awake, with no alarm and no reason. This isn't insomnia. It's not a disorder. It's your biology resetting itself. Think of it like a sunset that arrives earlier each evening. Your body still needs rest, just on a slightly different schedule. That's what happened to Charles, a 68-year-old retired school principal. Before retirement, Charles had a structured day. Up at 6 a.m., busy all day, winding down late. After retiring, his schedule softened. He began eating dinner earlier, watching TV sooner, falling asleep in his recliner before 9 p.m. It felt good at first. But then came the 3:30 a.m. wake-ups. No stress. No noise. Just alertness. He was confused, frustrated. How could he be wide awake when it was still dark outside? Eventually, he realized the answer. His internal clock had shifted forward. Once he understood this, Charles stopped blaming himself. He wasn't sleeping badly. He was just sleeping on a new timeline. So he started making small changes. He and his wife took a walk after dinner. He read under warm lighting instead of watching TV. Sometimes he called his daughter, or played a short game with his grandkids before bed. These little shifts added structure to his evenings and pushed his sleep window back just enough. And slowly, those 3:30 a.m. wake-ups became 5. Still early, but easier to live with. This is the power of understanding your rhythms. Your body is always syncing to light, to sound, to motion. And when your daily cues fade, your internal clock shifts to match the stillness, especially in later life. When days are quieter and routines more relaxed, your brain responds by winding down sooner. And when you rest earlier, you wake earlier. So what can you do? You don't have to overhaul your life, but you can guide it. Get some natural light in the afternoon, even just 10 minutes outdoors. Stay gently engaged in the evening with a puzzle, conversation, or a warm bath. Try not to doze off too early, especially in the recliner or during TV time. And most importantly, be kind to yourself. Waking up early isn't failure. It's your rhythm changing, your body adapting, your life evolving. And once you stop resisting the shift, you can start moving with it. Maybe the rhythm is slower now, maybe unfamiliar, but you're still in step, just on a new beat. Sign 3. When the body whispers, physical discomfort and health triggers. Sometimes, the reason you wake up at 3 a.m. isn't in your mind. It's in your body. Not in the dramatic way we fear. Not emergencies. Not sharp pain. But in the quiet, subtle language. Your body has learned to speak with age, It might be a dull ache from lying too long on one side, a dry mouth, a full bladder, a tight muscle that gently pulls you out of rest. Not loud, but just enough to stir you. These subtle physical triggers are often overlooked. They're not alarming, but they're real. And they're one of the most common reasons older adults find themselves awake in the early morning hours. As we age, we don't just become wiser. We become more sensitive. Joints stiffen. Muscles cramp more easily. The bladder loses elasticity, meaning even a small urge can wake you. And unlike in younger years, when discomfort might go unnoticed, the aging body pays closer attention. It notices more. It speaks more. That's not weakness. That's awareness. Take Eleanor, 76. A light sleeper her whole life. Recently, she started waking around 3:30 a.m. She assumed it was just age, until she realized she was waking up every night to use the bathroom. Eventually, she discovered one of her new medications was dehydrating her, making nighttime urges more frequent. Her doctor adjusted the timing of her dosage, and Eleanor began sipping water more steadily throughout the day. In just a few weeks, those wake-ups lessened, and when they did happen, she fell back asleep more easily. Her body hadn't betrayed her. It had simply asked to be noticed. Here's another quiet culprit: digestion. A late dinner or lying down too soon after eating can trigger mild acid reflux, often unnoticed, until it pulls you from sleep. It doesn't need to be painful. Just a bit of discomfort in your chest or throat can end your rest. Even small environmental changes, a room that's too warm, a heavy blanket, can nudge you into lighter sleep. And once your sleep is light, even the smallest thing can wake you. Then there's medication itself. Many older adults take prescriptions for blood pressure, for arthritis, for heart issues. And these often come with side effects: increased urination, temperature changes, sensitivity to sound and light. You might not connect these side effects to your sleep until you begin tracking patterns. And when you do, a new story emerges. One that doesn't say something's wrong. It says, I need your help. So how can you respond? Start small. Avoid heavy meals late at night. Keep evening snacks light and gentle. Cool the room a few degrees. Use breathable fabrics and extra pillows for comfort. Notice patterns. What time do you wake? What did you eat? What changed? Bring this info to your doctor. Stay lightly active. A short walk or light stretching supports circulation and muscle health, both of which improve sleep. And most importantly, listen to your body with compassion. Waking at 3 a.m. because of discomfort isn't a flaw. It's your body doing what it's meant to do: protect you. Sometimes that wake-up call is just your bones, your breath, your rhythm saying, I need you to notice me. That's not a problem. That's a partnership. And the more gently you respond, the more deeply you'll rest. Because rest doesn't just come from hours. It comes from feeling safe, supported, heard, even by your own body. Even at 3 in the morning. Sign 4. The quiet ways your lifestyle shifts your sleep. Sometimes, the reason you wake at 3 a.m. isn't your hormones, or your body, or even your thoughts. Sometimes, it's your routine. As we enter the later chapters of life, especially post-retirement, our days begin to soften. No more early alarms. No deadlines. No packed calendars pushing us forward. That freedom feels like a gift at first. Eat when you want. Nap if needed. Stay in your robe a little longer. But over time, those changes reshape something deeper. Your internal sense of time. Because the body craves rhythm, Not just hours and minutes, but light, movement, meals, conversations. And when those cues fade, your sleep does too. Take Walter and Folter, 74, a recently retired small business owner. Before, his days were full. Up by 6, out by 7, moving all day. Now, dinner at 5, TV by 6:30, asleep before the 9 o'clock news. He didn't plan it. It just happened. Then came the 3 a.m. wake-ups. Wide awake. Not anxious, just finished sleeping. He tried warm milk, new pillows, even Google. But the issue wasn't in his body. It was in his routine. The less active his days became, the more his body said, "It's time to wind down." And without external time cues like meetings or social events, his system began ending the day earlier and earlier. Before long, 3 a.m. started feeling like morning. This isn't rare. It's not a flaw. It's a natural response to a quieter environment. And it's not just about movement. Mealtime matters too. Many older adults eat dinner early, which is often a good thing. But if you eat at 5 and go to sleep by 8:30, your body might complete its full sleep cycle well before dawn. And here's another quiet player, blood sugar. Without a small bedtime snack, your levels may dip during the night. Not enough to wake you with hunger, but just enough to nudge your brain. Something's off. That nudge. It often feels like a 3 a.m. awakening. So, what can you do? You don't need to overhaul your life. Just reintroduce gentle cues. Take a short walk in the late afternoon, even 10 minutes helps. Avoid falling asleep in the recliner after dinner, it resets your clock too early. Add a small, healthy snack before bed, like half a banana or a few almonds. Use warm light. Keep the evening gently engaging, soft music, puzzles, or a good book. Try not to crawl into bed before 9:30, even if you're sleepy. Stretch, reflect, read. Walter tried these simple shifts. He pushed back his bedtime, little by little. He called his son after dinner. Read under better lighting. Skip that evening nap. And slowly, his 3 a.m. wake-ups turned into 4:30, then 5. Still early, but more aligned, more restful. Because this wasn't about fixing sleep. It was about guiding it. With rhythm. With routine. With compassion. Sleep doesn't exist in isolation. It reflects your days, your choices, your pace. The quieter your life becomes, the earlier your rest may arrive, the gentler your rhythm, the lighter your sleep. But with a little structure, your body remembers, and it responds with gratitude. It says, "Thank you for helping me find the rhythm again." And from that rhythm comes peace. Sign 5, when the mind stirs, emotional and reflective wakefulness. Sometimes, you wake up at 3 a.m., not because of noise, not because of light, not even because of pain. You wake because something inside is stirring. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's something quieter, like a thought tapping gently at the edge of your mind. This kind of wakefulness doesn't come from the body. It comes from the heart. As we grow older, the distractions that once filled our days begin to fade. Children grow up. Work slows down. The house gets quieter. And with that stillness comes space. And into that space comes reflection. We begin to remember old conversations, missed chances, loved ones we've lost, words we wish we'd said, or moments we never thought would mean so much, until now. This isn't anxiety in the way we used to feel it. Not that rushing, panicked swirl of thoughts. No. This is gentler. More contemplative. It's a soft restlessness. The kind that whispers. You've lived a lot of life. And some of it still wants to be heard. Take Gloria, for instance. She's 80. A widow. Her days are full enough. Tending her garden. Calling her grandchildren. Watching the news. But most nights, around 3 a.m., she finds herself wide awake. Not from aches. Not from noises. But from memories. She thinks about her husband. The way he used to hum while shaving. She thinks about her sister gone now. And the summer road trips they used to take. She wonders if she did enough, said enough, loved enough. At first, Gloria thought something was wrong with her sleep. She tried herbal teas, white noise, even warm milk. But nothing worked. Because this wasn't about sleep. It was about soul. Eventually, she stopped fighting it. She placed a small notebook beside her bed. Not a fancy journal. Just something simple. When she woke up, she'd write a line or two. Sometimes it was a memory. Sometimes a feeling. Sometimes just a name. And little by little, she found peace in the process. Not because the wake-up stopped, but because they stopped feeling like a problem. You see, the mind and heart have their own timelines. They don't always wait for daylight to sort things out. And 3 a.m., when the house is quiet and the world is still, is often the only time they can truly speak. There's something sacred about that hour. It's not just the middle of the night. It's the middle of everything you've lived. And that can be a tender place. It's also important to mention loneliness here. Not the kind that hits like a wave, but the quiet kind. The one that slips in when the lights go off, when the phone doesn't ring, when the room is full of silence instead of voices. Loneliness doesn't always feel like sadness. Sometimes it just feels like the ache to be seen, to be remembered. And that ache can wake you up. So, what can you do? First, don't judge yourself. Waking at 3 a.m. doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're alive. And still processing. A rich, complex, beautiful life. Second, create gentle rituals. Keep a small notebook by your bed, like Gloria. Listen to soft music you love from decades ago. Write a short letter to someone you miss, even if you never send it. Light a candle for a few moments before bed and simply breathe. End your night with a small act of connection. A prayer. A note. A memory whispered aloud. These aren't just routines. They're bridges. Between the past and the present. Between your heart and your rest. And sometimes, that's all your soul needs. Not to be distracted. Not to be fixed. But to be heard. Because true rest doesn't always come from uninterrupted sleep. It comes from emotional peace. From knowing you are whole. That your story matters. That your memories, the good, the hard, the sacred, still have a place. So if you find yourself awake in the quiet hours, don't rush to fill the silence. Sit with it. Let it speak. It might just be your inner wisdom, asking to be acknowledged. And when you honor that, even if you don't fall back asleep right away, you've already found rest. We've spent this time exploring why so many older adults find themselves waking up around 3 a.m. And now that we've walked through the science, the habits, the emotions, let's pause for something deeper. Because maybe the real question isn't, why am I awake? But rather, what is this moment trying to offer me? You see, 3 a.m. wake-ups are rarely random. They're patterns, signals. Sometimes from your body, sometimes from your heart, and maybe just maybe, they aren't something to fix at all. Maybe they're quiet invitations to adjust the rhythm of your day, to listen more closely to the needs of your body, to tend to thoughts you've ignored or feelings you've outgrown, to reconnect with what truly matters. Because sleep in our later years isn't just about recharging like it was in youth, it's about healing. It's about processing a lifetime. Slowly, gently. One quiet night at a time. So the next time you find yourself awake before dawn, don't reach for frustration. Reach for understanding. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are simply human and beautifully aware. And awareness, at any age, is a gift. What your body is telling you at 3 a.m. might just be the wisdom of a life well lived, asking to be heard. Before morning light returns, before you go, if this video helped you feel seen, if it gave you something to think about, or something to feel more at peace with, please take a moment to leave a comment. Tell us which part resonated with you, or share your own 3 a.m. story. You never know. Your words might be the comfort someone else needs tonight. And if you'd like more thoughtful, compassionate content like this, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell so you won't miss the next video we share. At Wisdom After 60, we believe your best years aren't behind you. They're just unfolding differently now. And we're here to walk that journey with you. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. And may your next 3 a.m. be filled not with worry, but with peace.